Jasmine, it's time for another video. Let's do something else this time. I hear that you've gotten a little bit discouraged, and I expected that. I gotta tell you that it's not easy to change from drawing on a piece of paper to actually making an object in 3 dimension like you're trying to do. It's not easy. Not everybody can do it. But you're so crafty that I know that you can do it. And I know that you'll do it here pretty soon. Once you figure it out, you'll be making so many pins that you won't believe it. Anyway, so I have a assignment for you today. We're going to start easy here. Let's make some molds. Some molds that you could use later on to be parts of pins, or you can't really use the design exactly the way it is. Maybe some of the made in China stuff that's not distributed in the United States by an American place. Maybe you can get away with that. But let's start. Let's get some pewter pins made. Even if it's something I can't sell, at least you'll have some things that you can show your friends. So, okay. Anyway, the first thing I want you to do, this is your assignment. I want you to make 10 molds out of Sculpey that you will use later on to make pins. So you'll have to get these baked and everything, but let's look around here. Go around the house and look and see what you can find that has a design on it. Any kind of design. I keep this little box of pins and plastic buttons and stuff, so that I figured I might use them sometime somewhere. Okay, so what I do, let's take a look at some of these. Go throughout your whole house, though. That's too big. Go throughout your whole house, okay, and look for things, not just buttons, not just pins, not just but you can use, like, there's a thing that comes to mind is silverware always has a pattern on it, almost. So let's make one of those patterns. So you put your Sculpey on the board, and this is a silverware I found in our silverware. Has a nice little pattern on it. So let's just put it right in here and pop it up. Look at that. That's a really nice little design, I gotta tell you. That's nice. Okay, here's another piece of silverware that has a design on it. Not much, but that can definitely be used for part of a pin later on. So let's go ahead and make a mold out of this. Okay, pop it right out. There you go. You got that mold on there. That would be a nice part of a pin. And let's look at here. I see what comes to mind easy is little buttons that you can push in and everything. So let's do a few of those. I see this is a little sunflower. Let's put it in here. Pull it back out. That's all you have to do. Nothing more to it. Very simple. I see a little rabbit here. Let's make this little rabbit into a mold. Just use your Sculpey up, because you'll always use these molds later on. Okay, it's just the way it works. I've used a lot of these molds already, a lot of the designs already. So in some pins that I've done, here's a pin. Here's a pin with the letter A on it. So let's see that? Has a letter A on it. So we can just use that button. Okay, it's not a pin, it's a button. And you kind of squish the edges in so you get good impression of the whole button. Sometimes you have to do that. Then if you can't lift off with your fingers, which is mostly, you use a little screwdriver or something and pop it off. There you go. Exact replication of that pin. Okay, you take these pins and you put them in the oven. Remember, 275 for 15 minutes. These are all within a 1/4 inch, so that's all you have to do. I want you to make 10 of these pins. I made 5 right here so quickly right in front of you, okay? And make 10 of these pins, put them in the oven, and bake them just like this. And then we will go from there. I'll show you how to make pins out of these items here, okay? Now, I'm going to bake these in the oven, and then as well. So when you get yours done in this day or two, have your mother take a picture of it and send it to me on my phone, and we'll go from there. That's your first project. Make 10 of these pins, or these molds, not pins, molds.